everyone to our continuing investigation of Meitav Ziduk Karka Yeshalem. We have gotten down to the English dates, 1720, and the Vilna Gaon. Okay, we're in the home stretch. We have another 300 years of people to deal with. Now, of course, it's obvious I didn't write everybody here, but I took a major set of very well-known and highly acclaimed Meforshim to take us through the next series of investigations. Okay, so now basically we said like this: we've narrowed things down now. We've narrowed things down now to the Shulchan Aruch. That's where we got, and that's where things actually started with the Torah. The Torah and the Shulchan Aruch bring us what some people want to say is the Rambam, and the Rambam seems to be saying things differently than the Rush and the Rif and the Tosfos. Okay, that's where we're holding. So basically, up to the Rambam and the Torah, so we thought the world was very simple. Either the Mazik can pay with what he wants, according to Rapap, Kesef, Shavak Kesef, or Meitav Karka. And according to Rev Huna, no, he can only play with Kesef and Karka, and if he doesn't have both of them, Metaltalin. That was that simple setup. Not so simple, but that's what everyone that we looked at was like. Comes along the tour, and he writes. He quotes the Rambam, and not he quotes the Rambam. He writes, which looks like the Rambam, and all of a sudden he puts metaltalin before karka. So that's not what we heard. We were learning up to the point where Papa was holding metaltalin is equal to karka, and Rav Huna says metaltalin is worse than karka. So the Rambam flips the table and puts metaltalin in front of karka. Okay, so that causes a revolution of thinking, and causes everybody to go back to the books and say, well, where did the Rambam get it from? Because he's only explaining, the Gemara. That's all he's doing, not doing anything else. So that's where all the fireworks started happening. Okay, the world was simple up to the Rush, and even up to the Rif, and even up to the Balei Tosfos. But when we read the Rambam, it looks as if he's telling us a din that we didn't simply understand by the other Rishonim in the Gemara. Okay, so there's a group of people like the Bach and the Derisha on the Tur, and the Sma and the and the Sma and no, it's just the Sma on the Shulchan Aruch. Sma is really the Derisha, but what they do is they read the Tur and the Shulchan Aruch and the Rambam in the classic style of the Rush, which means the Mazik can give what he wants, Kesef, Shavak Kesef, or Meitav Karka. That's how they read it. On the other side of the scale here, we have people that want to read Rambam as a Chiddush, that really, unlike the Rush and the Rif, the Rambam has a new understanding of the Gemara that really the basin collects from Metaltalin before Karka. Okay, so that was the Beis Yosef and the Levush and the Shach. Okay, so that's really let's say what we say in the world, the battle lines are drawn. Okay, either you want to push the Rambam into the classic Rush and Rif camp, that the Mazik can pay with what he wants to pay with, as long as it's made of karka, but he can pay with any type of subin, he can pay with kesef, or you're going to say that the Rambam is Bal Mechadesh, and he learns the text that you have to pay with metaltalin before karka. That's it. Okay, that's where that's the setup that we're in. Okay, now the Shach took on all what we did is we read the Shach, albeit as an overview. We didn't get into dealing into each piece, but the Shach basically takes on all the opponents that say that the Tur and the Rambam and the Shulchan Aruch are really holding like the Rush and learn the language to support that opinion. He takes them all on and all their proofs, and he destroys them. Okay. Now he does it by mainly reading this Rav Huna Gemara differently, and it's important to just note that he has Rav Huna says o kesef o meitav. He has kesef lechatchila and meitav if you don't have kesef, or kesef, and if you don't have it then meitav karka. And Rav Nachman comes along and says, what do you do with yashiv? He says that's when you don't have kesef. So, but of course metaltalin is before karka. So it's either kesef or if you have kesef, shava kesef, and if you don't have both, then karka. That's how we read Rav Huna, and the Shach tells us, however, the halacha is like Rav Papa. How does Rav Papa disagree with Rav Huna? Because he says that metaltalin is equal to kesef. So you have to give either kesef or metaltalin, and if you don't have it, you give meitav karka. And that will be the Pesach of the Rambam. Okay? So that's we're holding in the Shach. And now we're going to move to the next level, which is the Gra. Now, here I have all the text in here that we're going to look at, and it's very interesting. As the generations go on, people write more extensively. We see how extensively the Shach wrote. The Gra writes more extensively, and of course the Nachlas Stav is going to even write more extensively, and the Chazon Ish is going to write, well, not as, but he's also writes a quite nice piece, and then we have the Evel Oznel, and so a lot of interesting Torah here. It's basically going to be involved with the Rambam and the Shach, and basically the problem is going to be, is the Shulchan Aruch, Tur, and Rambam together, or is there some sort of distinctions that we can make between each one of those three texts? Okay, and there'll be nafkaminus lahalacha. Okay, but let's first start with that first Achrei Achronim, which is the Vilna Gaon. Okay, I'm going to take a break now. I'll keep the screen on, and I'll say my brachas and sing Ma'at Sur, and you could read. You can read Gra here. I can give. You know what I could do? Let's have some fun. I think I can give you.
Yeah, give me controls. Yeah.
I can make you the presenter, right? Or no, give you the control. Is that the same thing?
Presenter. No, don't make me the presenter. Just give. There's another button called Give Keyboard and Mouse.
Yeah. Where's Give Key? Oh, no, that's a screen. Wait, where's that thing? Give Keyboard and Mouse. Mute. Webcam. Give Keyboard and Mouse. There we go. Okay. Right? You got it? Okay. So I'm going to mute my mic, and I'll stop the recording. Whoops, 1 second. Ooh, let me just take this back 1 second. Let me just stop. Yeah, so let's read.
Take away the ability for me to move the mouse, because if my mouse moves, it's going to...
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, it's going to upset the how do I do?
Sometimes I move my mouse to follow along.
Yeah, sure. Let's go here and take away the keyboard. That should be that. Okay, you have been dis-keyboarded. Okay, great. So let's start. We'll read the tour again, because the Gra is going to be talking on the tour, and first we have to read the Rambam. Sure. There. Let's first read the Rambam, the tour, and then the Gra. Okay, Rambam first.
Mishnah Torah halachas mamayin. כשבezdin nizkakin ligvais hanezek minichsei hamazik. When Bezdin is nizkakin, and this we saw last week. I don't remember the whole explanation, but we saw last week how the Rambam arrived at the Keshebezdin nizkakin.
Yes, that was the whole Gemara Yudalit.
Right. Gavin min hamatartalin techila. So Bezdin collects from the tartalin first. That's before anything else. If he doesn't have metaltalin all, or he doesn't have enough metaltalin, the rest he'll collect from karka, and hashar means in the case where he doesn't have enough, or it means everything from karka. And that karka has to be min hayafsha b'nechsei mazik. It has to be from the better karka, from the best karka of the nechsei mazik. So Rambam is clearly stating the priority is first metaltalin, and then only if he doesn't have metaltalin, or if he doesn't have enough metaltalin, then you collect some karka, and of course the karka has to be karka, which is iyus.
Right.
And he repeats and he says, as long as there is metaltalin, even metaltalin, which is subin, they're not niskartan lakarka. Now the Torah says, so that's the Rambam. Kishaboy mahagvais lenizik nizkai, rainim yesh lemazik metaltalin, and yardin l'chasav limkar karkai. So we have to look and see if this mazik has metaltalin, then we are not yored to his nechasim to sell his karka. Ela yitin loy metaltalin. The mazik will give to nizik metaltalin. Vafilu sheish lekesef. Now this the Rambam doesn't say. The Rambam doesn't discuss kesef, but the Torah is telling you that metaltalin comes first before kesef.
Vafilu sheish lo kesef yochol.
Yochol shalom b'subin. Oh, even if he has kesef, he could pay him with subin.
Right.
They call me the metaltalin meitafu, because everything's metaltalin is meitafu. So it sounds like you can pay him with kesef if he wants, or if he can pay him with metaltalin if he wants, and if he wants to pay him with metaltalin, that's his right to pay metaltalin, and the nizgas doesn't take it.
Right.
And you evaluate the metaltalin according to what it's worth at that moment in time.
Right. Now, interesting, as you said, that at least we have the Rambam quoted here, does not talk about Kesev. I did a quick search in the Rambam, I couldn't find Kesev. What the Shach said was because of that Gemara in Yud Daled that said that Shavik Kesev, in the end, it said that Shavik Kesev is like Kesev, and the only thing that's not Kesev is really Karka. And he quoted, this was all like Gemara then, they quoted there, Rashi quoted over there, the Rapapa, that Kesef and Shavik Kesef are together. I mean, the Kesef and Metal together, okay? Because if you don't sell it here, you can sell it somewhere else, okay? So they're saying, they're all explaining the Rambam to say that the reason why it doesn't talk about Kesef, and he says, Govin me Metalton Techila, is because Metalton is equal to Kesef, okay? So, but that's what they say briefly. Okay, so that's why I wrote my little chart here. Simply, the mazik can give kesef or metaltalin. If he doesn't want to give it, or he doesn't have it, or let's say the Rambam said doesn't have enough, so then you have to collect from the karka. So the karka is the second best. And as we said, this doesn't fit into how we were learning Gemaras before, because we learned Reb Papa's that all three things were equal, or Reb Huna that metaltalin is when you don't have, according to Rashi, kesef or meitav. Okay, so metaltalin is only given after karka. So this was the big surprise in the Rambam, and everyone's really trying to fit this Rambam into the Gemara, and we had various ways of doing it, and now we're going to see the Gro's way of doing it. But okay, that's what it is. All right? So that's the first thing. Let's read the second thing. I broke it into parts, just making it clear that there's two scenarios. There's one where the basin is rowan and miesh lamazik metaltalin, and the second scenario is ve'im ein lo metaltalin, right?
Right.
Okay.
Ein lo metaltalin yordin lekarka idus shabanachasa. And if he does not metaltalin, then you go down to the karka idus shabanachasa. Okay,
now I don't think we have to get into all those details. Okay. That's all at Gemara, but it's all more dinim in karka. Okay. Right. Now that's basically again the whole business here is the tour the Rambam or not the Rambam. That was a whole big fight. Okay, some people will say, hey, come on, this is the Rambam. Other people will say it's not the Rambam. Okay, and that's the discussion we're in. Is the tour following the Rambam or not? Or just looks like he's Rambam. And also there's a problem with the Rambam himself says, is he mechadesh a new din of a president of metaltalin, which looks like that's what he's doing, or no, we'll read him in such a way to explain that he's just the rush. But that's really the problem that we're in. Okay, good. So we got the background now. So now we'll have to do the Gra, but what I'm going to do here, because we have to, all these people have to be very careful to see the original text and what they say about the original text. Okay, that's why I put it in red, because you have to what he's quoting. Okay, there we go. Now let's look at the Gra.
Okay, Hagral Rambam.
Yeah.
Lashon Hatur.
So,
Yitain loy metaltalin. So he's picking on those particular words of yitain loy, that in the case where the mazik has with the mazik has metaltalin, so the mazik will be yitain loy metaltalin. V'ratzalayma, and the Gra is explaining the word yitain metaltalin means birtzainoi shal mazik taloi, that the giving of metaltalin is dependent on the desire of the mazik.
so that's what it means here. Let's look back in the text. Ein yordan l'nechasav limkor karkasav ella yitan. He gives metaltalin.
Right.
Right? And the nizak has to accept it. Okay? So in other words, he's in the driver's seat. That's how the Gra is learning him, and that's how we said those people who want to bring the Rambam into the Rush and the Rif will say all we're saying here is that the Mazik can give metaltalin. Don't read the pasuk to say Meitav Karka, he must give Meitav Karka. No.
Right.
You can also give metaltalin equally, and that's Rev Papa. Okay?
Right.
Good. That's in. So the Gra wants to start and say, now, interesting, he's on the Rambam here, but he first talks about the Tur. So the Tur, he quotes the Tur, that's why I put the Tur up here, says, Ela yiten metaltalin, the Mazik gives metaltalin. The Beis Din doesn't take away his land first. We say to the Mazik, what do you want to give? I'll give metaltalin. No problem. Oh, you want to give metaltalin? Go ahead. Okay, now let's go weiter in the Gra.
Okay, the Amar shelakeach metaltalin.
Yeah, now I put this in because there's another, the problem, I have another text that from the Stei Chemed that sort of adds words into it. So I just put it in because it sort of helps us to read a little.
It doesn't really make a difference when we do it. It's the same.
Nah, the same note.
The nizik obviously is taking the top.
Exactly.
In other words, this that the Tur saying that he takes metaltalin lafukim meravuna dama kol man sheyesh lameitav and yechol metaltalin. So the Tur is coming to exclude this shita, this Rav Huna, who holds that if there is metaltalin, you don't give metaltalin first, as long as the other way around. If he has karka, he gives karka first. If there's meitav karka, he has to give meitav karka first before metaltalin. So that's what the Torah is coming to exclude.
Right.
He's coming to say that he gives metaltalin to exclude from Rav Huna, who says that you give karka first.
Right, great. Now remember, because we've been involved with all this, you see, there's a big machlokus Rishonim. The halach is like, right? So it makes a lot of nice sense that the Tur should tell us, don't think the halach is like the Rabbeinu Tam who holds like Rav Huna, right? Rabbeinu Tam holds like Rav Huna, that you give kesef or karka, and afterwards you give metaltalin. So the Torah has to say, don't do that. We don't touch the karka, even though Rav Huna would like to. We go to the metaltalin first, okay? Right. So it's really, and that's what I wrote over here, as far as the Torah is concerned, as far as the explanation of the Gra, the Mazik can give kesef metaltalin or karka, and the only reason why he's writing this halacha is to keep us nishmami perish acher, that says, which is Reb Huna, that says no, you don't give metaltalin unless you don't have kesef or karka. Fine.
Yep.
Good. Next.
V'chein perish bach udvisha uprisha udelay kebeis Yosef.
Right.
So the bach and the dvisha also say that he gives metaltalin first. To exclude from Rav Huna says you give karka first. Right. And this is not what the Beis Yosef says. So what does the Beis Yosef say?
The Beis Yosef said, no, you give kesef and metaltalin first. Okay? No, he learns. Yeah. The Beis Yosef.
The Beis Yosef would be different than the Bach and the Drisha and the.
Right, exactly.
Or you'd have to give karka first.
That's correct. Excuse me. You have to give you have to give, 1 second, just 1 second. 1 second. Again, I just got confused myself. 1 second. We just learned here, according to the Gura, that the Bach and the Drisha and the Prisha hold that it's Yad Mazik al Alyona, correct?
Right, to give metaltalin.
No matter what the Nizak wants, the Mazik
Right.
can give what he wants. But
Right,
the
mazik tali.
But the Beis Yosef holds it's not totally on the mazik, it's totally on the nizak. If the nizak does not want,
Right.
if the nizak does not want karka,
The nizik wants karka, so you have to give him karka.
oops,
Right? No?
I'm sorry. What? Gee, I just got confused myself. I'm sorry, I'll get back with you
Yeah,
for a
Beis
second.
Yosef.
Yeah, I send the other piece, but okay, just look at the Beis Yosef again, okay? Here.
Yeah.
Here's the Beis Yosef.
So he's
Okay?
Right.
It says, "Kishabayin like was nikan rowan im yesh lamazik metaltalin." This is the tour. Ein lo yordan limchor karkasav. Rowan im yesh lamazik metaltalin. Ein yordan lenachasav limchor karkasav. Ela yiten metaltalin. V'chein harash bepirik bam. Okay. Now, let's read it again slowly. Kashabayin lahav lenezik nisko rowan im yesh mazik metaltalin. Then ein yodin lenechasav limkor karkasav. This is what he added. This is why I put it in gray, because it's the whole thing here. Lefi rotzon ha mazik. That was the chap
So,
here.
but that's very much like the tour.
Meaning
He's going on a tour.
Meaning that even though the mazik wants karka, you
The
don't.
nizik wants karka. The mazik still wants to give him metaltalin. The nizik has to take the metaltalin.
Right. Ella kofen hamazik iten metaltalin gefi ratzon hamazik. Right. So the mazik, so the nizak wants karka, and the mazik wants to give metaltalin. Look what he says here. 1 second.
Because of a rush.
One second. Just give me 1 second. My mind somehow is not working here. Just give me one more second. Because your mind, Rowan and Mish Hamazik Metalton, and Yon Lictosav Limkor Kakasav Lefi Ratzon Hamazik. Right. You don't do it. Ella, Kofan Hamazik, Yiten, Haratzon Shel Hanisak. That means that so the way he's learning is that the mazik wants to give karka, right? And the nizak wants metaltalin. And we give metaltalin according to the ratzon of the nizak.
Isn't the Beis Yosef right now explaining the tour?
Yeah, that's how he's going to be learning the tools in a second.
Yeah, but the Beis Yosef may say his own shot later on. We didn't see it.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm with you.
Because right now, again, Shabbat Lahagbas Lenizik Nizkai, that when we come, the Nizik comes to collect his Nizik, Ryan and Yesh Leila Mazik Metalfin. We look at the assets of the Mazik. If he has Metalfin, Ein Yordlin Achastalun Karkai. So if we don't go and force him to sell his Karka, El Yitin Lai Metalfin. He's using the Lashon of Yitin Lai Metalfin, which is the Lashon of Torah, which the Gra is being Medayakin. So he's really going on a tour. King of a rush, and so to write rush by Kamala Babakamala and Prius Balchaiv. Okay, he's going on a side note, saying that with regard to Prius Balchaiv, it's also the same than the Zelashan Lanian Prius Balchaiv, nearly, E is the 11 Metalfin Makarki, Kafino Mason Metalfin. So it's the same idea that Metalfin comes before Karka, and Mchavitz by him Malva Yosim the Karkai. 1 second. But here he says if the Malva wants them more than Karka, so he given the Zuzi Yahiv Shakal Kalmi did the Makar of Zuzi Tvei Vaina Metalfin. So the Rush is comparing this idea of Nezek also to the case of Malchais, and saying that if the that if he has metaltalin karka, he gives metaltalin first.
Okay, let's go slowly. First of all, the Beis Yosef quotes the Rush, who's talking about Balchov. When it comes to Balchov, then the Malva has a right to demand metaltalin over karka, right?
Because
since he gave money, everything that's closer to money he can collect, right?
Right.
That's in the case of Malva. Let's be very careful. Now we'll go a little further, right? Here's the Beis Yosef continues. So that the Rosh said that about Malva. When in the case of Malva, since the Malva gave money, he has a right to collect anything closer to money, and therefore he can force the Lova to give him metaltalin. Even if the Lova wants to give him karka, he can say, no, I won't metaltalin, because I gave you money, I have a right to get things which are closer to money. The Rosh said that's all in Balchov, right?
Right.
But not in Ezekiel. In Ezekiel, the Nizak has nothing to say about what to accept.
Right.
Okay? That means the Mazik can give what he wants. That's how the Rush learns.
Right.
Now, however, the Beis Yosef on the Tur says, V'dima Rabbeinu is the Tur.
Right. Priyas Nizakan and Priyas Balchayv. Ava Pisha Yesh L'chalak Beinehem. The Ad Kamai Amar HaRosh El Balchayv Mishum the Kivin is a Yahiv. So theoretically, you should say that is a very serious difference between Balchayv and Nizak. Ava Ben Nizakan Laka Hai Taima Le'mashma Rabbeinu. The Kivin Le'ashkan the plug Rabbanon B'nai U'Bahachi Le'mefagina. All in all, we don't find that there's enough kamina.
Right.
Even though you could be mechalek beinayim.
Like the Rush did.
Right. And you could say that by a Baal Chai they have the svara that given the Zuzi Yahiv, that he wants to get a Zuzi back. But all in all, the Beis Yosef was saying you don't find that the Rabbanan made enough kamina between the two. So now you see that he's learning that it's mamash like balchai,
right?
Where, just like the Leva has, the Malva has a right to demand karka, so too by nizik and mazik, the nizik should have a right to demand karka, just like the Leva, the Malva has a right to demand kesef.
Let's go again. The nizak, who is equal to the Malva, has a right to demand metaltalin over karka.
Right.
Correct?
Yep.
So when the way the Beis Yosef read the Tur was that when the Nizak wants metaltalin and not karka that the Mazik wants to give, we listen to the Nizak because the Nizak is like the Malva. And since everything that's closer to Kesef he has a right to get, so he has a right to get metaltalin over karka. So we're talking about the rights of the Nizak. The Nizak can demand metaltalin over karka. That's how he reads it.
Right.
Are we good on that? Right? Yeah. Now we just have to read that in text. That's why I tried to read it into the text.
Is this the Beis Yosef that the Gra is referring to?
Yes. Because according to this Beis Yosef, what? Yeah, sure. This is it. Just right? Then ein yordan linkasav limkor karkasav. Now, that's why I said what that means is that if the mazik has metaltalin, no, the way he learns it is very strange. The way that the Beis Yosef is learning the Tur is that the mazik wants to give karka, and the nizak wants metaltalin. And we don't listen to the mazik who wants to give karka. We listen to the nizak who wants metaltalin. That's how the Beis Yosef learns this Tur.
Right.
Which means yad nizak al yona. That means, what are we talking about here? Why does it say ein yordan leniknas limkor karkasav? Lefi haratzon shel ha, I should have said shel hanizak. Ein Yordan lenichasav limkor karkasav lefi haratzon shel ha mazik. Is that correct? 1 second. That's right.
But the nizik is the one who's demanding payment.
No, that's how the other people learn it. The Beis Yosef is learning it again. The Beis Yosef is saying that the nizak is like the malva, and he has a right to get karka if he wants it. Oh, excuse me, he has a right to get metaltalin.
Yeah, he has a right to get karka. Exactly. No, he has a right to get. He has a right to get karka.
No.
He has a right
What is the case of malva? In a malva, the malva has a right to get metaltalin before karka. Isn't that right? The malva can get.
Malva has a right to get metaltalin before karka. Right. Now, so therefore, what is the
So the nizak also has a right. He also has a right to get metaltalin against karka, over karka.
Right.
Now we'll get to the text in 1 second.
The thing that I'm thinking about is if we want it to be different than what the Torah says. If we want the Beis Yosef to be different than the Torah.
No. The Beis Yosef is explaining the Torah.
Are you explaining the Torah?
Yes, he says this is Peshat in the Torah.
The Beis Yosef is different than the Torah, isn't he?
No. The Beis Yosef is explaining the Torah. He's a parish of the Torah. He says here the Torah is not holding like his father, the Rush. The Rush made a clear distinction between Nezikin and Balchov. Here the Torah is holding that there's no distinction between Nezikin and Balchov, and therefore, just like in Balchov, you have a right to get the metaltalin over karka, so too in Nezikin, you, the Nizak, have a right to get metaltalin over karka. That's how he's learning the Torah.
Right.
Now this is not like we just learned the Gra and the other people, like the Prisha, the Drisha, the Sma, and all that other thing. They don't learn the Torah this way. Okay?
Okay.
That's the whole problem here. How do you understand the Torah? Okay? The simple way to understand the Torah is, again, what's the simple way to understand the Torah, like the Sma and the Bach and the Gra? Right? What's the simple way? I lost the simple way. You tell me the simple way. If the mazik has metaltalin,
then he has a right to give metaltalin.
Right.
It's up to the mazik.
It's up to the mazik. Right? Exactly. But the Beis Yosef is not learning the Torah that way. He's learning about the rights of the Nizak, and that the Nizak can demand metaltalin over karka. So he's learning that the mazik wants to give him karka, and the Nizak says, no, I want metaltalin. And the Torah is explaining he has a right to get metaltalin.
Right.
Okay, so that this is it'll come out. What's the nafkamina? According to the simple way that we were learning, all the Torah is doing is saying that you can that the mazik can pay with metaltalin, and he doesn't have to pay with his karka, like the Rush. But the way that the Beis Yosef learns the Torah is that the Nizak has the power to demand metaltalin over karka. That means if the mazik wants to give karka, the Nizak can reject it. According to the simple way we understood it, it has nothing to do with the Nizak rejecting anything. It's talking about the power of the mazik. The mazik, if he wants, can give metaltalin, unlike Rav Huna that says he has to give karka. He can also give metaltalin. That's how we learned. No, says the Beis Yosef. That's not what the Torah is saying. It's saying that the Torah is saying that the Nizak can reject the karka of the mazik and say, I want metaltalin. It's talking about the power of the Nizak. Right? He has the power to say, no, I don't want your karka. I want your metaltalin. So it comes out that according to the Beis Yosef, the mazik can't do what he wants. He can play the first move in the game, but then we say to the Nizak, well, do you like this? The Nizak saying, no, I don't want no karka, I want metaltalin. So,
Right.
okay, so he has the power of rejection. He can say, look, I don't want that karka. So that's going to be the way that the Beis Yosef learns it. And the Gra says, look, everybody's learning this text simply, just to say that the mazik does not have to give meitav karka, because like Rav Huna, the halach is just that he can give what he wants. But that's not how the Beis Yosef learns. The Beis Yosef learns is talking about the powers of the nizak to reject karka.
Right.
Good? Okay,
yep.
Now we'll go back. Okay. You have to learn how to play with the buttons here, right? Okay, what can I do?
Yep.
Okay, let's just here. Okay, so that's what the Gra just said here. The Gra says, Lashon HaTorah is Yiten Metaltalin. We learn that simply. Buritzon Hamazik, he can give Metaltalin if he wants. He doesn't have to give Karka. And that's just to, and why did he have to write that he can give Metaltalin? Because you might think the halach is like Rav Huna, that he can't give Metaltalin unless he doesn't have Karka, right? So he says, that's very nice, that's Peshat, and that's the Peshat in the Bach and the Drisha. But the Beis Yosef doesn't learn Peshat that way, right? He learns Peshat as we're talking about the power of rejection of the Nizak. The Nizak does not have to accept Karka. He can demand Metaltalin. Okay?
Right.
Very good. Now, this is just the notes that were written in the text. I just put them in. Okay? Okay. V'lo Beis Yosef. Shapirish das haturka Rambam. Now, that's a note. Okay? So, but that's what people will say, even though the Beis Yosef never mentioned the word Rambam. Okay? But the people will want to say, well, that's the Rambam Shita, and the Torah just put that in. But that's just what it is, okay? Now let's go further in the Gra. So we have the Gra holding lahalacha like the people who are saying that the Torah is simply saying that the mazik has a right to give what he wants to give, and he doesn't have to listen to the nizak's demand for meitav, like Rav Huna. And we're not learning like the Beis Yosef. He doesn't want to pesak like Beis Yosef, who holds that it's talking about the rights of the nizak. Good. Now he continues. V'zeh shenemar.
V'zeh shenemar afilu yesh loi kasef yachal apar b'subin.
Okay, let's read it here.
It says, but this is what the Torah writes. Afilu yesh loi kasef yachal l'shalom b'subin.
That's what he writes in number 2, right? Let's read it again. Ein yodlin kasav limkor karkasa eli ten metaltalin. He doesn't have to. Don't listen to the nizak meitav like Rav Huna. No, he can pay with metaltalin. The filu, and even if this mazik has kesef, yochel l'shalom with the besubin, right?
Is he bringing a proof to the Bach and the Drisha?
Yeah.
The V'zeh shenemar is going back on the Bach and the Drisha, not what
Exactly. 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 That's a proof that exactly as you said. Good. You ready?
Yep.
Good. Aval.
Aval. Lashon Rambam ain't American.
Okay.
But the Lashon of the Rambam does not indicate this.
Right. So he now wants to split, very carefully, he wants to split the Tur and the Peshat given in the Tur of the Bach and the Drisha, who he says that's the Peshat. Okay, that's fine. Not like the Beis Yosef. But he says, but if you look at the Rambam, you're not going to see this conclusion, i.e. that you can give what you want. You're going to see the other conclusion. Let's see. Let's read. Aval, Lashon Rambam.
From the Rambam, it's not dependent on the Ratzon HaMazik. The nearer the Svilale.
Okay, let's look at the Rambam. Let's first look at the Rambam. The Rambam says, "Kashabeistin niskaken legbos."
Ligvos hanezek min nichse hamazik goyvin min ametarplan tchila.
In other words, the din in based in like the shach, right? We don't listen to the mazik. We don't listen to no nizak. The din is You have Mr. Mazik, you have metaltalin, we're taking it from you.
Right.
I have karka. Who cares what you have? Because I want karka. I want, forget about it. I have nothing to do with that. The din is, and based in, the Shach says, that the Rambam says, Pashut, the law is after we judge the case and we say the mazik must pay, we look to the mazik and we say, cough off your metaltalin. Okay, you don't have it, then we'll go to your karka. But the thing is, give him metaltalin, right? There's nothing to do with what the nizak wants, like the Beis Yosef says, right? Right, and it has nothing to do really with what the Bach and the Drisha says, because they say the mazik can give what he wants, right? And don't think he has to give meitav. So the Gra now splits the Rambam away from the Tur. Okay? Notice how this note, which I should really get rid of, but I just put it in. You see? The note says, Shapir Shdas HaTurka Rambam.
Right.
Okay? That's all debatable. I mean, that's, again, quick reading. But the Gra clearly states that the Rambam is not holding about any rights of the Nizak. He's not holding the rights of the Mazik. He's holding the din based on like the Shach, right? Okay.
Right.
So now let's go continue. Venera.
Venera de Psilale Kedas Ramah. So it comes that the Rambam is going like the Das of the Ramah. The Kolzman Sheyesh LeKesef Eine Yachalitin Loi Metalplin V'Loi Karka. That as long as he has kesef, he cannot give not metaltalin and not karka. Wadim kishiyesh na metaltalin v'yachalitin like karka. Ayin b'simin shenandala tefei. So he's saying that Rambam is going like this Ramah, that if there's kesef is first. Now, how we saw that in the Rambam, I don't know.
Correct. And in 1 second, he's going to address himself to that question. The Rambam didn't talk about kesef. Right? So...
Right. What in kishiyesh metaltalin, bein yachalit and karka. So, in other words, he's saying there's a hierarchy of kesef, metaltalin, and karka.
Right. So when the Rambam is talking that you go from in a metaltalin netchila and not the karka, he's holding like the Ramah that if you have metaltalin and karka, you'd go from the metaltalin netchila. Okay. What about this kesef business? Because the Ramah added on kesef, right, to the equation.
Right.
The Rambam didn't talk about kesef. How not? He's going to address himself to that question in 1 second. Okay.
Right.
But as far as a precedent of metaltalin over karka as a din, the Rambam is holding like the Ramah. In that, where kesef comes in, we'll talk about in a second.
Right.
Okay? But that's the famous Ramah. All right? And that's the Nemuka Yosef, and that they're going to push now the Rambam into the Ramah and to say that you pay metaltalin before karka. Okay, very good.
Right.
Good. Now, let's read this. He just says, look further on in Shin Nun Daled. I want to read that with you. I put this, I just quoted Shin Nun Daled here, so we just have a clear picture. When the Gemara says look there, you got to look there. Okay? So here is Shin Nun Daled, Siman Hey. Okay?
Gonav Kli. If somebody stole an object, the Shavrei I Pachsai, and he broke it or he reduced its value. I Nishbai Nipchaz Me'elav. Or he didn't do it to it, but it happened by itself. What does that mean, it happened by itself? I don't know. How does it break by itself? I guess.
Yeah, it fell off his, he didn't break it. I don't know. Or Nishra Me'alav. Oh. I don't know how it was weak. It was an old Kli and it just disintegrated. I don't know.
Right.
Right? Or the market price went down on Kalim. What could I do?
Right. Ein omrim yitain l'baylim ashvarim v'yashlim aleihem. You don't say, give to the baylim the broken pieces and then fill in the gap.
Right. Pay the difference
between the value of the pieces and what he stole. Elohu yito hashvarim. The ganav has to take the broken pieces. Yitain l'baylim klishalim eidamav. And he has to give a complete keli or the value. The dafka dislay ma'is, and again, this is only if the ganav has cash. Aval ileslay, like reisham elu misham metatlin. So you see clearly from here that there is a hierarchy that was saying that he has to use cash. But if he doesn't have the cash, then he could give the pieces.
Right. Now, we didn't talk about land here. We didn't talk about land here, right? But we do see that cash has, what?
Right. You also didn't talk about how he's paying the gap. He's just giving him the pieces. Obviously, there's a gap between the pieces and what the daily is worth, and he doesn't have any cash. So I guess it's understood that he's going to give him the top one.
Yeah. If he has no cash and doesn't give him the pieces back, he doesn't have cash. So give him other metaltlin. Doesn't have metaltlin, so give land. I don't know. We don't know yet. But okay, now the ganef. Why is this important? Because the ganef and the goslin are one of the 24 nezikins, right?
Right.
Okay. So we see that in this case of nezikin here, you first pay with cash. That's what the Torah says, right? Now, that's a problem because the Torah over here says that even if you have cash, you can use metaltlin to steer in the Torah. So I don't know how we're going to answer that problem, right? Here we said in Nezikin, right, he pays with metaltlin before.
Right.
And there, okay, so we have a problem. And why did the Geror quote the Shulchan Aruch? Why did he quote the Rambam? I don't know. There's a lot of problems here, okay? Okay, whatever he did, that's what he did. But he just wants to show, again, B'Gadol, that there's a precedent of Kesef over Metaltlin. That's what the Rambam holds. Why here it's not being said is the next question. Oh, no, that's a question of the Torah. The Torah didn't pasak that way. The Torah didn't pasak that way. Why didn't pasak that way? The whole world will have to decide. But that's what he's saying. He says the Torah is not the, that's what he said. The Torah is not the Rambam. The Torah over there is the Rambam. I can't answer that question yet, but that's what he's saying. He says the Rambam has a special shita that you pay metaltlin before karka. And the Ramah added you even pay kesef before metaltlin after karka. Fine. Right. Now, here comes the interesting part, another interesting part of the Geror. Elitzarachiyum.
Okay. Elitzarach iyun. Lama lekasef Rambam to be yesh like kesef shen yachol item metaltlin. Our question.
Exactly.
Why didn't the Rambam write this clearly and say that when he has kesef, he cannot pay metaltlin?
Right.
Very good question. V'nir'ah shah Rambam svira lei the metaltlin harayim kekesef. The Rambam held that metaltlin is like kesef.
Unlike the Ramah. The Ramah said that kesef has an edifus over metaltlin, right? But the Rambam holds no. There's no difference between kesef and metaltlin. That's why I did a search. You'll do a search later yourself in the Rambam. See if you can find the word kesef. I couldn't find the word kesef. So that's what they're saying. They say, come on, metaltlin. And I gave this whole philosophical business that really kesef is just another piece of metaltlin. It just happens to be the standard. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. But that's what he says. Okay? Now, how does he know that? Kamosh Kasuv.
Sham, like it says over in Baba Kam, Daf Yudalin, Vani Kulu Kesef. Ninu. Umefarish Masha Nemar Sham Ravuna Amar Kesef Ametav.
Okay, we got to go slowly. Let's go slowly. We go, ooh, wow. You know, the Geror has all these things crystal clear in his head. You know what I mean?
Right.
But first of all, he wants to bring a raya that metaltlin and kesef are equal, and he brings it from, there we go, the Gemara in Yudalit, right?
Right.
Remember what the Gemara said in Yudalit. That's why we did that last week. Let's see if I can find it. Okay.
Shum Kesef Shava Kesef.
Shum Kesef Shava Kesef, right?
So just a side note on that Mishnah. I was listening to a shiur from Rav Yitzchak Berkowitz on the Mesorah, on how the Mishnah came from, and the Gemara came all the way from Tersha from Sinai, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, all the way to what we have today. So he said most of all the Mishnayos that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to Moshe Rabbeinu. He said it's possible that there are two Mishnayos which are very, very similar, and probably in the same style that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to Moshe Rabbeinu. One of them is the first mission in Bava Kama, Bava Nezikin, and then one in Daf Yudal, which is Shum Kesef Shavah Kesef, which is more poetic and a little bit less clear and more just remuzim. It could be those Mishnayos are very similar to those to the ones that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to Moshe Rabbeinu.
Which one? The second one is not. The first one is?
First one, Bava Nezikin.
That is from Moshe Rabbeinu.
Right.
The first one is from Moshe Rabbeinu, because it's clear, and the second one is a little more abstract.
He mentioned both. He said both. The Bava Nezikin and Shum Kesef and Shavah Kesef.
Are both from Moshe Rabbeinu?
Yeah.
What was his distinction?
He said it could be Avkash, maybe it's not, but he said those would be the style or the type of Mishnayos that would have been more of the type that Moshe Rabbeinu received from HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
More Ramazim and less spelled out?
Right.
Ah.
More poetic.
More poetic. Okay. Anyway, those are big things. I would never get involved in that. It's way in a world I can't even touch. No, that's very serious stuff. You know what I mean? Very serious. But okay, doesn't matter.
There's also one other parak, the Ezu Mekayim, which has no machlokes in it, which also may be.
I mean, how can he make those statements? I mean, he can make them, but I mean, you got to be real. I mean, maybe he's big. I don't know. But that's big statements to make. I would shake before I say a statement like that. I mean, you're talking about Yesodos of the whole Torah Shabbat Peh. You know, I mean, right. I hope he has some support to say that.
He didn't say in the shir what the makar for that is. But
okay. Beside that, all right. I mean, anyway, for sure you can say what you want to say. I guess some people.
I'll send him an email.
Okay. But here, look at this here. We said Shavah Kesef, right? So we said Shavah Kesef. We said Shavah Kesef. We said Shavah Kesef. We said Shavah Kesef. Let me just get it here. Bum 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 bum. Ravashi. We said my mashma. When it said, the text said Shavah Kesef. That was the theft actually. Malamet she'ein based in the skokin. There's our word. Ellen lechasin sheyesh lahem achrayas. Correct.
Right.
That's what the bright. It happened to be Tosefta. Aval kodem nizak v'tofes metalton based in Goen Mehen. Right. So the first question was my mashma. How did this Tosefta know that Shavah Kesef is equal to karka? That was the first question. Right.
Right.
So Rav Ashi said, because it learns Shavah Kesef alo Kesef, v'hane kuluhu Kesef ninhu. And metalton is Kesef itself.
Right.
So the conclusion of the Gemara according to Rav Ashi is to say that Shavah Kesef, meaning metalton, Shavah Kesef means karka, according to this Tosefta, and metalton is Kesef. Right? So comes along the Gra, and he says, you see, this is the Nekudah, the place where the Rambam got his din that metalton is equal to Kesef.
Right.
Right? And if you want to know a Svara, I just added, Rashi said the Svara, which was the Svara of Rav Papa, that metalton could be turned into Kesef very easily. So it has the same din as Kesef. Okay? Very good. So that was step one. We want to know, why didn't the Rambam write the word Kesef? Well, gentlemen, the Rambam expects you to know this Gemara that makes an equation between metalton and Kesef, and there's no distinction. So if he talks about that metalton, it's Kesef too equally. So when I tell you that you have to give metalton above karka, also you can give Kesef above karka, and there is no adifus of Kesef over metalton like the Ramah.
Right.
Okay, very good. Gra, wow. It's good to do this because you see the Gra, he says he writes like a Rishon. I mean, he's so deeply involved in the piece that he's, you know, I mean, it's like I say E equals MC squared. I mean, that was a conclusion of blackboards of work. I mean, you know, so in order to appreciate the Gra to the fullest, you have to be involved deeply. If you just read the Shulchan Aruch and the Gra, you read. Rabbi Goldstein used to say, people, you should be, well, he say, people go to a concert. So the simple kid goes into the concert. Yeah, what I hear is nice music, sounds, you know, but the person who is educated, he hears the harmonies and the different oboes going with the violin, how they interact, right? He hears a whole different concert. So the problem is, and this is why I'm doing this demonstration. I hold it's very important that we can eventually, be in, actually packaged in such a way that it could be used. Is that people normally don't see these steps, okay? Because they don't take enough time to carefully study the sources, so they don't get to this level. Okay, so it's chaval because it takes time, but in the end, in one time in your life at least, you should get to see the beauty of what's really going on. Okay, and that's what we're trying to do here. Bezrat Hashem. So here we see the beauty of the Gra. The Gra is saying, look, I have a simple kasha. There's an adifus of, according, this is the Rambam. Forget the Torah. The Torah is his own man. We said the Torah is like the Rush and everyone else. But the Rambam, when you look at the Rambam, he puts an adifus of metaltalin over karka. So where did he get it from? Well, he must be following shitas of the Ramah. But wait a minute, the Ramah also puts kesef in front of metaltalin, and the Rambam should have said it. Right? So comes along the Gra and he says, well, you have to look at the Gemara, don't you understand? The Rambam already understood from the Gemara that when he says metalton, it means kesef. And that's what we just saw here. Very good. Now we'll go to the next point. Uma shenema.
So, Uma shenema sham, Rav Huna Amar, oy kesef meitav. So, right, it says oy kesef meitav. Remember, im yesh la kesef, yitin kesef.
Stop. Wow. So remember, here's the backdrop of what's going on. People like Rashi and the Rabbeinu Tam, right? They were learning when Rav Huna said "O Kesef O Meitav," it was an equal or. You have a choice, Mr. Mazik, to give or kesef, or you can give meitav karka. You have the choice. Came along Rechon Achman and said, well, what do you do with shavu kesef? Is that if you don't have kesef and meitav? That's how Rashi learned in the Tosfos and the Rush. Everyone's learning that way, right? But now, if you're going to say that there's an adifus of metalton over karka, where do you get it from? That's the name of the... Where did the Rambam get it? Well, he got it from the Ramah. Where did the Ramah get it from? Right?
Right.
So the Gra brings down, and this is really the Shach also, he says, look, because you have to read Rav Huna differently. This is how the Shach was also the Mechadesh in the beginning, right? Rav Huna, when he said, O Kesef HaMeitav, didn't mean the Mazik can give O Kesef HaMeitav. It meant the Mazik must give Kesef. And if he doesn't have Kesef, then he can give Meitav. O Kesef, and if you don't have Kesef, Meitav. Right?
Right.
Im yesh kesef, yiten kesef. V'im ein lo, yiten meitav. O kesef. And if he doesn't have kesef, meitav. Right? And that's the period of Ramah. Right? Oh, one second. That puts kesef over. That puts kesef over what? Right? Over karka. No, over everything. But no, not over everything. Over karka. Now we're going to go further. The first move is to put kesef over karka. That's Rav Huna's statement. Oh, kesef, oh, meitav. You give kesef. If you don't have kesef, you give meitav. That's step one. A came along Rav Nachman and asked the kasha, what do you do with Yoshiv l'Rabba Shavah kesef afilu subin? What do you mean, oh, kesef? And if you don't have kesef, you give meitav. What about subin? You can also give subin. Right? Answered Rav Huna, hachiv ma'eskinan.
Right, that b'delesle.
Now, there I told you this is the sugya of the indefinite pronoun, right?
Right.
If he doesn't have what? Rashi says if he doesn't have kesef or meitav, then you give subin. Well, that's not going to work according to the Rambam. So first we had to switch the lashon of kesef and meitav. Say first you give kesef and give meitav. Came along Reb Nachman and said, wait a minute, there's another alternative, subin. Let's read the
right.
Rod Salomar, B'delesle.
She'ema metaltalin. Azam Rav Huna she'itim meitav.
Slowly. So now we've got to read it back in the text. O kesef. Let's just get this straight. O kesef, and if you don't have kesef, you give meitav. right? Came along Rav Nachman and said, wait a minute, what about Subin? Comes along the Gra and says what he meant was that's when you don't have metaltalin. What do you mean when you don't have metaltalin? Az Omar Rav Huna.
So in other words, metaltalin comes first.
Right. So let's go again to the steps. O Kesef, O Meitav. First, if you got to give Kesef, then Meitav. Well, what about Subin?
That's only if he doesn't have.
No. What do you mean she'im metaltalin?
Right. That's why she'im metaltalin. The Subin goes together with metaltalin.
So he's learning like this. O Kesef, O Meitav. So what do you mean you can give Meitav? You can't give, you don't have to give Meitav, you can give Subin. He says, no, what I meant was if you don't have metaltalin, then you give Meitav. That's how the Gra is learning. Let's go over this again. It's unbelievable, like, wow. O Kesef, O Meitav.
O Kesef, O Meitav. That's why I'm saying Yesh like Kesef, Yitin Kesef.
Right.
So that's O Kesef. If he has Kesef, he has to give Kesef. Then Ein Lai, Yitin Meitav.
If he doesn't have Kesef?
Then he gives Meitav.
Good.
So Kepesh Ramah. So Esvei, so Rav Nachman asked to Rav Huna, what about Yashalav Shavak Ezra Filu Subin? Achmaskinim B'Deleslei.
B'Deleslei Ma. B'Deleslei Ma.
Right. So he's saying She'en metaltalin. If he doesn't have metaltalin, that's where he gives what? Meitav. So how is he answering the question?
What was the question? What was the answer?
Well, the question, Rav Nachman's question was, what about Yashla Abba Kesef, Afilu Subin? Right, because Rav Huna is saying that you give Kesef a Meitav. And Rav Nachman is asking what about should include Subin. So what's the answer? So Rav Nachman answers is B'Deleslei. Rav Huna answers B'Deleslei. Now he's saying right Salaima. What does it mean B'Deleslei? She'en metaltalin. Az Amar Rav Huna She'yitei Meitav. Because it says I Kesef a Meitav. So when he doesn't have metaltalin, then he gives Meitav.
So go through this again. Go through the steps again. Okay, let's go through the steps, okay?
No, but I'm stuck on how he's answering the question. The question was
what was the question?
Give Kesef or Meitav. Again, what is Rav Nachman's question? Rav Nachman's question was, why is Rav Huna saying he's giving Kesef or Meitav? It says the pasuk somewhere else, Yashar Rabba Shava Kesef Afilu Subin.
Meaning, I don't have to give Meitav, I can give Subin.
Give Subin.
So Rav Huna answers him, when I said Meitav as the second alternative to Kesef, I was talking when he doesn't have metaltalin. Of course, when he has metaltalin, he has to give metaltalin.
Then he gives Subin.
Yeah, because Kol Mile Meitavu.
Right.
But if he doesn't have metaltalin, then I say you have to give Meitav. Oh, Kesef or Meitav. He says, wait a minute, why do you have to give Meitav for? You can give Subin.
Right.
So he says, I was talking about Meitav when you don't have metaltalin. When I said Kesef or Meitav is when you don't have metaltalin.
Right.
I got to walk around a few times to digest this, but okay.
You're lucky. Oh, it helps. I don't know if that view over here helps.
There's too many. I want to see the second one. Yeah, that view over there. All those strange people walking around. Okay. Maybe it's polluted too. Doesn't help either. Nice air in Jerusalem. But you have the Kedusha. Wow. Well, see, might get mugged. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I'm going to find out the reality. As you said, I haven't been in America for 35 years. I'm going to see a lot of changes there. But let's get back to here, okay?
Right.
So let's go again through the steps, okay? What's step number one? The statement of the member, the statement of Rav Huna. What is it?
Statement of Rav Huna says, O kesef o meitav.
Parish of the Gra.
Then first you have the kesef or metaltalin.
No, first, before metaltalin. We didn't talk about metaltalin yet. Let's only talk about the two variables.
Kesef or meitav. So he has the kesef before he gives karka.
Right. In other words, you have kesef, you have to give it. When you don't have kesef, then you give meitav. Okay, so it's a diffus of kesef over. If you don't have kesef, you give what? Meitav. Right.
Right.
So what is Rav Nachman's kasha?
Rav Nachman's kasha is, you're saying, like, kesef or meitav. What about Yashiv l'Rabba Shava kesef afilu subin? Where does that fit in? Right, that's the question. The question is, you're saying like kesef or meitav, but it says that you could even give shavak, you could even give subin.
Why are you telling me there's only two? You told me the way you learn two alternatives. You either give kesef.
Right.
You only give, you can either give kesef. If you don't have kesef, then you must give meitav karka. Let's spell it out. Meitav karka.
Right.
Rav Nachman says you don't have to give meitav karka.
Right.
You can give metaltalin.
Right.
So what does Rav Huna say?
So Rav Huna said that, yeah, what I mean to say is that if it doesn't have metaltalin, then he gives meitav. So how was he answering the question?
So when I said you either give kesef or meitav karka. Now when I said you give meitav karka when you don't have kesef, that's also when you don't have metaltalin.
Metaltalin. So in other words, he's saying the kesef, and what he's answering is that I included subin, metaltalin, already in my statement when I said karka.
Right, beautiful. Because he holds like the Rambam holds in Yud Daled, that when I talk about kesef, I talk about metaltalin. They're equal.
Right.
So when I said or kesef or metaltalin, I meant kesef and metaltalin.
Right.
And only when you don't have both do you give karka.
Right.
So the Gemara says, wait a minute. Isn't that Peshita? Now, what's the Peshita here? Look at what he's going to say. The Peshita isn't the Peshita that if you don't have kesef and metaltalin, you give karka. That'd be a different way of learning the Peshita, right?
Right.
So let's read it. Peshita, Ma'odetema. You should go out and sell it.
I would have thought that you have to sell your meitav sadai.
Oh, yeah. Right. Omer Torah. No, you don't have to sell it.
Right.
Right? Could be a comma there or a new whatever. I don't know, comma, something like that. Okay.
It would look at be a shash.
And this whole Peshat of the Rambam, nothing to do with Rashi. Right? Because Rashi holds, what do you mean b'dil eislei? She'ein lo meitav az yiten subin. Oh no, this is this pair. Well, appears Rashi. The ma shenema b'delei she'ein lo meitav az yiten subin. Right? According to Rashi, if you don't have meitav, you give subin. According to Peshat, if you don't have subin, then you give meitav. Right?
Right.
Vahu, the Rambam's, is the Svar Hafucha, right, from Rashi. The Sova, the Tov mi meitav, that metaltalin is better than meitav karka. Kamo, shekasav, in Zayin Amad Beis, the kol mile meitav hu.
Right.
Fantastic. Usvara, Leila Rambam, and you spell it, I keep going.
Svira Leila Rambam, the metaltalin b'chal kesef hu.
Right.
And the Rambam holds that metaltalin is b'chal kesef. So now we see where he's coming from, that the Rambam holds that metaltalin is b'chal kesef. And when Rav Huna says the kesef and meitav, kesef is included in metaltalin. It's all one and the same.
No, metaltalin is included in kesef. He didn't even talk about metaltalin.
Right.
Because it's hainu hach. I can talk about kesef and metaltalin. It's the same thing. They're equals. They're identities, right?
Right.
Okay. So now that's the Gro's Peshat in Rav Huna. Wow. Oh, kesef. And of course, Rav Huna understood that Kesef and Shavuot Kesef and Metalton were equal. He said, "Oh, Kesef, you don't have Kesef or Metalton, then you give Metal." Rav Nachman said, "Wait, but you didn't talk about Metalton." He says, "Oh, I forgot I didn't talk about Metalton because that's equal to Kesef. And if you don't have Kesef or Metalton, both of them, that's the only time you give Metal. And that's the Rambam."
Right.
Now he says, he continues. You have a little more time. We're almost done. Not done, but we're almost the first.
Okay. Well, after this, we're going to take a break for about a week, right?
Yeah, now next week I'll be flying, so
Right.
yeah, and I have to be preparing. So, well, okay, we'll have to push it off. Maybe you can do Thursday or something. We'll see. Well, what happens? I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk next week, but definitely Thursday I want to be in the air. So I think, yeah, Wednesday. No, Wednesday. When am I landing? I don't even know.
You're landing Wednesday at 2 o'clock.
2. So there's no. Well, maybe I'll come home and you'll be ready to learn, and we'll just continue.
2 o'clock now.
No, 3:30. Oh no, that's 3:30 my time. 2 o'clock is the afternoon your time. Oh, am I mixed up? Wow. Wow, that's why I stay with
I
the
need your
Torah.
cell phone number, by the way.
Oh yeah, now I'm getting a cell phone here. Okay, Baruch Hashem, $3 a day, and they give me unlimited in the United States, and I call Israel. It's a very nice deal, I think.
Good. Okay.
So I'll have a number and I'll give it to you. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's just read this.
Anyway, let's just finish this up. I gotta
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
According to this channel, the Rambam, Rav Papa and Rav Huna Bar Rav Yeshua are not arguing with Rav Huna.
Yes, they both agree that Kesef is equal to Metaltalin, and the odd man out is Karka, right?
Right.
And right.
Hashta I Islay. To the Perish Rashi Kasha Kushis Harash.
Oh no, okay, we're gonna have to get into this. Remember the wow, the guy writes so briefly. Now remember this whole business of Hamesi Elo, of the Rush's Kasha? The Rush said Hamesi Elo. I think it was Rav Nachman said, wait a minute, what do you do with Hamesi Elo? How could you tell me that Hamesi Elo comes to tell me that the Nizak gets the Nevela? Right? That's Pashut. Because if the Mazik has the Nevela, since he has Yoshev, he can give it back to the Nizak, right? So the Russ said, well, if you hold like Rav Huna, if the Lach would be like Rav Huna, it wouldn't work, because according to Rav Huna, Kesef and Karka have an edifus over Metaltalin.
Right.
So he should have said, I need the pasuk when I have Kesef and Metaltalin, I'm going to need that pasuk. Okay, that we have to go through it. It's very nice to do it. It's chaval to just rush it. But he says, the way I just answered Rav Huna and the Rambam, different than the Rush, will eliminate different than the Rif and the Rashi, is now going to save me this kash of the Rush. Of course, the Rush said that Rashi had a problem with this Gemara of Hamesi Elo. It won't work out if you're going to say that the halach is like Rav Huna. So the way I just answered it, I showed you that Rav Huna is really Rav Papa, and now there's no more kasha. So I even saved that. So we should just go through that once again. Wow, this Kabbalistic stuff. Okay? But that's what's going on. All right, we're getting close to some real understanding here. All right, so the Gra, we'll hold it here. It's a chaval to rush through. I hate to rush through.
Right.
But, okay, we'll hold it here. So Bezrat Hashem, and next time I see you, it'll be in real life. Bezrat Hashem. Right?
Bezrat Hashem.
Okay.
Forward.
Veseda. Thank you very much, and we'll get you that the telephone number, and we'll go forward. Okay.
Very good.
Great.
All right.
Yashikaya.